Bienvenidos a Esperanza Vence, donde la Esperanza vence. Welcome to Esperanza Vence, where hope wins. Whoop, what's jumping? Death. Look at that. Death card jumps right out. That's a Scorpio card. That means that completion is coming, and it's final, and we saw it coming. This is the video for the Leo new moon on the 16th of August 2023. Tune in with me while we think about the energies of Leo and the energies of new moons. What's a new moon? Well, a new moon is when the moon is black. The moon and the sun are, from the Earth's perspective, conjunct in the sky, and the light of the moon is not, we don't see the moon, it's black right now. And that kind of represents the void, the dark, the space where like the creativity starts to brew, you know? So now like it's when the ideas start kind of flowing in and flowing through, and then they start to percolate, you know, as the moon becomes like a little sliver, then it becomes a quarter, and it grows, it waxes, you know. And as the moon becomes full, you know, these ideas and this momentum keeps gathering speed, you know, in rhythms of, you know, the 2-week periods between new and full moons. We have these rhythms. If you're ever curious about the rhythm of the moon, just watch your plants, you know, get like a fruit or a vegetable that, or flowers or something that you cut and harvest, and you'll see, you know, the moon does affect the cycles of things. Oh, the world came up too. Again, cycles coming to completion, which is interesting because the Venus star point just changed. Venus is retrograde in Leo right now, and she just went Kazemi with the sun on the 13th over the weekend. And was it the 12th or the 13th? I think it was the 13th. And that highlights like Venusian themes that have been going on for the past like year and a half, and some things are coming to a culmination and the new things are starting, you know, and that's kind of represented by the world here. Well, the cards are jumping, so let's talk about Leo energy. Leo embodies at its core the energy of the sun, and that is the heavenly body that rules the zodiac sign of Leo. Leo is represented by the lion. Powerful, courageous, fierce, very loving, very able to luxuriate and take up space when needed, and use one's voice when needed, to not be afraid to be seen in the sunshine, in the spotlight, to not be afraid to give sunshine, to give spotlight. You know, just because the Leo ego is grand, it doesn't mean that the Leo has any problem with another grand ego as well. You know, there's plenty of room for all of the lions in the pride, you know. Leo energy is represented in the tarot by the card of the sun. You know, just being okay and having, like I said, a healthy ego, and being okay with everybody else having their healthy ego too. And, you know, astrology is based on the northern hemisphere, so for us up here, it's the time of harvest. It's the sunflowers are out, you know, everything is in massive bloom, you know, before we turn the corner and start to slow down and wind down and get ready for fall and winter. Leo new moon is making a lot of aspects in the sky right now, because I think for the rest of 2023 there's just going to be a lot of aspects between planets, and particularly when there's aspects to the planet Uranus, we can expect sudden changes, transformations, surprises. Pluto is involved. That's deep transformations, final transformations, death, you know, rebirth, taxes, sexuality, sex life, sensual exploration, you know, deep, dark things that don't really get talked about that much out in the open, but that influence our lives at a very deep level, whether it's conscious or subconscious. programming, you know. Yeah, so the programming might change here. You know, Leo new moon is a great time to change your own programming on purpose. You know, there's nothing wrong with, if you're usually somebody who kind of puts yourself down, or you tend to not give yourself enough credit, you know, Leo new moon would be a great time for you to reprogram that and say to yourself some kind things instead, and some encouraging things. Think about what would you say to a child if they were trying to do something cool. You know, you wouldn't talk to them the way a lot of us talk to our own selves, you know what I mean? So Leo new moon is a great time to think about ways of building your own healthy ego and encouraging the healthy ego construction or maintenance of others too. It's a great time to raise your voice in song. It's a great time to embody your creative potential. And it's a great time to set in motion things that are actively going to ignite your own personal fire here in this universe. It's very self-oriented, Leo. I mean, even though, like I said, the lions exist in a pride, they are very good at taking care of themselves first, you know, and they're very, you know, like a lioness has no problem hunting either, you know what I mean? She doesn't have to stay home. And you know, a lot of lion cubs too are fend for themselves pretty well too. So there is a lot of courage in that type of freedom. You know, there's a lot of courage and there's a lot of strong love there when you're courageous enough to love and also have your own personal freedom and understand that everybody in the pride deserves their own ego freedom. That's a really powerful space to exist. So I hope we can all exist in a powerful space together as we tune into the energies of this Leo new moon happening on August 16th, 2023. Thank you for tuning in with me. I really appreciate you checking out esperanzavence.com and getting a personal reading with me. You won't regret it. I have to put something on my website that has reviews because I'm starting to get, you know, some traction and I want to prove it. Love you. Thank you. All right, Leo new moon, here we go. Oh, once again, the world card shows up on the bottom of the deck. So this is going to be the energy that's the overarching energy for this whole read, because this card popped out at me twice, and I never look at the bottom of the deck anyway, but I just sort of turned and there it was. And like we were talking about before, the world card embodies, you know, Leo energy, which we were just talking about, Taurus energy. So Leo's fire, Taurus is earth, Aquarius is air, Scorpio is water, Avila. We have a victory here, you know, with these laurel leaves. And we have somebody that has the power of the magician's wands in both hands. And they're free to be themselves and go with the flow because they understand that the circle is complete with all of these elements that they're kind of mixing together and dancing and weaving together. So overarching theme for this Leo new moon is, it's interesting too because it's a new moon, but it is a new moon that deals with culminations and completions on some fronts too, because of all those other aspects that we were talking about before. And this is reaching a pinnacle. This is reaching a high point. This is also having a win, you know? And it's reaching the next phase in a cycle before you start a new cycle. You know? So that's going to be like our theme. This is us. This is what's crossing us. Near past, near future. Conscious awareness, subconscious awareness, how we see ourselves in the situation, how other people see us in the situation, our hopes and fears. Check out this rock I found in Lake Michigan. It's so smooth. And the likely outcome. So this is the deck of cards that I use with clients. I use the Radiant Rider-Waite tarot, and this reading, Leo New Moon, I'm wishing the best of luck and the best of all the things that Leo energy can bring to everybody who has gotten a reading with Esperanza, Vence tarot. Since I started out at a house party the day after Thanksgiving. Oh, I want to say in 2021. So I've been at it, you know, for people who aren't me, for going on 2 years now this November, and I really appreciate everybody who has, from you know, sitting next to me in the bar and asking me for a reading, you know who you are, and I charged you. After a while, I just started charging you, and that's how it started. Really, it's actually because of you, motherfucker. It's because of you. It's because of you that I started charging for tarot readings, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the party that another motherfucker hooked me up with. Tú sabes quién eres. Tony. And I appreciate, you know, the Zoom readings. I appreciate reading for people that I know, and I appreciate reading for people that I don't know, and I appreciate the craft. And I promise you, I would never purposefully tarnish the craft. Like, I would never, you know, I would never read if I weren't in a space to do a reading. I would just and I do, you know, like, when I'm done, I'm done. And, like, you know, if and when we tune in, just know that I do my absolute best to provide a safe and clear space for you to use your intuition, because we really are using your intuition during a reading. You know, I'm just kind of translating what these cards have shown me through the years. And I've been reading, you know, around 20 years or so. I've been talking to these cards for a hot ass minute. All right, so there we go, you know. Thank you. Love you. Happy Leo New Moon. This is us. The sun. Go ahead. Okay? Go ahead. Of course. This is the Leo New Moon, and this is everything we were just talking about. This is what's crossing us. Two of Wands. Near past, the Hermit reversed. Near future, Eight of Pentacles. Conscious awareness, Five of Cups reversed. Subconscious awareness, the Empress. Man, is she a babe or what? I'm sorry, but I just want to be her. How do we see ourselves? The Tower. How do other people see us, or what does our environment dictate during this time? Queen of Cups reversed. What are our hopes and fears? Six of Pentacles reversed. And what's the likely outcome? The Lovers. And let's once again give a shout out to the World card over here, who is presiding over this whole conversation of characters. And as I usually tell people that I read tarot for in person or on Zoom, I consider this to be a conversation. You know, this is the main topic, and then, you know, the positions go from there. And if you want to remember what I'm talking about as far as these positions are concerned, I will put up on the screen somewhere around about, I have a like short video series, and it talks about how I pull a Celtic cross and how I read. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you know, you can look at that playlist to learn more about how to run a tarot spread and also what the cards can mean. Of course, as you go down your journey, the cards are going to speak to you in your particular way, but if it helps you to sort of look over my shoulder as I've been discovering things, I would love for you to do that. That'd be great. Okay, so in a conversation in the room, as I usually tell people, the major arcana cards are the ones talking the loudest in the conversation, okay? So here we have the Hermit, the Sun, the Empress, the Lovers, the Tower. So 5 out of 10 cards here are major arcana cards. So this entire reading is really tipping towards the scales of like loud talking. So this reading is really trying to put us on blast and really try to tell us something this time around, because obviously it's Leo and Leo's use a megaphone. So proudly and gladly, you know, and we love that shit. We love that shit. Okay, so who are we? We are the Sun. And the Sun embodies all of the Leo energy that we were talking about, you know, even the sunflowers. You know, when the sun radiates light onto us, it makes us happy. And when we are our naked selves able to accept the light and accept our own, wave our own flag, you know, accept our root chakra energy, what keeps us alive, what keeps us going, what gives us our heart and soul, and what makes us happy and cheerful. You know, when we're not afraid to fly that flag and just be our naked selves, even if the horse and the sun are like, oh, jeepers, here they go again, you know? I mean, it's a lot of fun. And it's good, because when we do this for ourselves, we give permission to other people to have some fun too and be their authentic selves too. However, as a challenge, we have the Two of Wands here. We already have a creative pursuit established. We've already established some of our fire, some of our passion, some of that Leo ego energy, and we know what we're into. We know what we're feeling like. We know what gives us that groove, you know. But we're also curious what else is out there. We're also curious how else can we contribute. We're also curious to put ourselves out there, and how can we benefit the rest of what's out there, and how can what's out there benefit us? Like, how can we connect with the rest? You know, we've already established ourselves here. We have our own little castle here. We got the roses, you know, we're doing all right. We got our nice little outfit on, and we've done something. We've accomplished something. That's established, you know, that's locked in. See? But this is something new, and this is like just getting ready to venture out and maybe put yourself out there doing something new. So as a challenge, you know, it might be challenging to try new things. It might be challenging to get in touch with the rest of the world. You know, there's a lot of retrograde planets, and we could be feeling stuck and stagnated as we challenge ourselves to try new things, and as we challenge ourselves to keep in touch with our own passions and creative pursuits, you know, other things can be holding us back, like work, you know, or other people. So we are getting in tune with our own ego and our own childlike Leo energy, but we are challenged to be sure to be in touch with our passions and our creativity, and to continue to put ourselves out there. Even if we're busy, even if we're tired, we got to make hay while the sun shines. In the near past, we have the Hermit reversed. The Hermit is a card of solo introspection and gaining knowledge through solitary research. This is the wizard or the witch that's on the solitary path. This is the Gnostic, you know, this is a person who, the traditional monk that goes in the cave to gain wisdom. And this is the star, the hope for the future, you know, that wisdom can bring when you come back down the mountain, if and when. And in the near past, we had a time when, you know, we had to get out of our comfort zones. We had to leave from our place of solitude and come back down the mountain and share our knowledge with the people. We couldn't stay like this forever. Something had to change, you know, and that could even just be the changing seasons, that like we haven't had time to have solitude, or maybe we went from being single to being in a relationship. That could be too. When the Hermit's reversed, though, you can bet your booty that this person is not on a solo path anymore. This person is now gathering up with at least one other person and being able to shine their light and share their wisdom in that situation. In the near future, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is hard work. Basically, this is the person that gets after it. You know, this is the person that wakes up early. Like we were saying, they make hay while the sun shines. It's an apprentice card. This is somebody that learns how to do something, and then they do it again and again and again until that coin stacks. You know, this is somebody that is very earthy. Pentacles represent money, but they also represent earth, because earth is what feeds us, and that's what keeps us here. At the most practical level, money keeps us alive, you know, basically. I mean, the fire of the Two of Wands, that's passion, and passion keeps us going, but Pentacles keep us alive, you know. That's at the very core. We need the earth to survive. So